Quick spin round from where I was last night. As you can see, I planned to put the tent facing east. Didn't take quite account to how big this gorse bush was. But the sun is up. It's not up very high yet, but a lovely little spot. Had a couple of people out training the dogs last night till about 20, quarter to 9, something like that. Which was the only noise I heard besides, you know, nature. Who's that dude? Good morning. But yeah, peaceful night. Didn't get much sleep because I just couldn't get comfortable. I think I'm just too achy, but yeah, that sun will come around there. I'm going to get shaking some of this moisture off of it. Just a morning dew. As you can see, just the morning dew on it. Oh, got out of focus. There you go. We'll give it a shake, a bit of a wipe down with my kitchen spongy thing. And hopefully the sun will come around and dry the last bit out. Spider doing his business, going around repairing last night's damage. Similar to me. Not damage, you know. Overnight stuff. Two minds whether to let the sun come round a little bit more and dry it out. I haven't had my breakfast yet, so I might try that. Hi, Jay here from I Wonder UK. Thanks for joining us. This is day 7 on the Two Moors Way, or the Devon Coast to Coast walk. Last night was all right. It wasn't as cold as it was predicted. I got some sleep, but I'll be honest, not that much. I'm just not a very good sleeper. There wasn't a drop of wind last night, and you could hear everything, which I find amazing. You could see all the birds and the noises outside. The problem is with it, I'm going to have trouble drying the poor old lanchan over the corner. Today is about 11, 12 miles maybe, so a nice short day, but I intend to take it nice and slowly today. There's a start of Hawk Ridge, then I'm going on to Withypool. I think that's how you pronounce it, Withypool. And then from there, I'm going to stop short of Simonsbath maybe? I don't know. This is day 7, and that will leave me with a reasonable walk through to Lynton / Plymouth tomorrow. So the sun's out, it's already warm. I'm just t-shirt and shorts. It's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning and it's lovely. Another beautiful sunny day. I've been blessed. I'm so lucky. Or did I just plan it really well? No, it's luck. I thought I'd do a short bit about my sleeping system for this trip. When I was planning it, and literally right up to the last minute, the lowest the night temperature was going to drop was 11. You know you can't rely on that. Come on, I was walking across Dartmoor and stuff. The sleeping bag I got with me, just for the sake of saving a little bit of weight, is only rated down to +5, I think, maybe +7. To get round that, well, I always bring a silk liner anyway to stop your bag becoming a stink sack. And I've got one of those 3FUL, I think they're called like bivvy bags. I wouldn't sleep outside with it. I've slept in a bus shelter with it overnight, but it's just enough to keep that over the top of you. And I never travel, regardless of weather, without a pair of leggings and a pair of socks and a hat for the night time. And I'm glad I did. I didn't use them for the first 2 nights. It was absolutely beautiful. 7:45, Wembury, having a cup of coffee, watching the sun go down. 2 days later, it dropped down to 2 to 3 degrees. So it's worth bringing them. It's the same as my waterproofs. I don't want to jinx myself, but I've got my waterproofs and my poncho so it can keep all my kit dry. I've been out for 7 days now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've been out for a solid week. This is day 8 because I walked to Wembury as well. And I haven't had to use my waterproofs. But doesn't mean I wouldn't carry them. I thought I'd give you a quick idea of how I've got round. Normally I have a thicker sleeping bag, but you can get away with it other ways. Doesn't that look appealing? My homemade porridge mix. And I don't normally even eat porridge. As always, leave no trace. It's still early, it's not 9 o'clock yet, and it's only, well, my watch says 9 degrees. As you can see, the sun's coming down from this way, and it feels a lot warmer than 9. I'm on an ascent, not very much of one, but I'm on a little bit of an ascent, but yeah, I'm feeling warm already, which is beautiful. I'll give a quick spin round. There we're looking over to Dartmoor in the long distance. And we're going this way. Let's go and explore Exmoor. Little diversion to the trig point. You have to, it's the law, don't you? And I think we'd start descending now, and it could be Hawkridge. Centre of screen now. We're following this path and we need to just deviate slightly to the left. This wide path bears away from the trees for a little while, and then it starts cutting back, and just round the corner should be the fork. It's bared away from the trees, and now it's coming back in again to this natural tree line, bush line coming down the side, and there you go. We need to be taking this one, I think. There's always a reassuring sign. We drop off that, what I'm going to call common land. That takes about 30 minutes, and I went and had a look around the trig, etc. But casual walk, and you drop right down, and we're on road again. And it's a right knee trembler. The descent coming down here is making my knees throb already. Is knee trembler the right word? Well, whatever, you know what I mean. And after a descent, you know what normally follows. An ascent. But it's not too far, I don't think. The ascent up the road's not too bad. It doesn't last for long. Gets your legs warm, heart rate going, and slightly panting, but we're going over this way. That's a great picture, isn't it? Oh, it looks like windows that used to get on the computers. Quick look back, the trig point was up there, and then we followed this path down here, down through the woods to drop down into the valley before we came back over the river and round. We're across this pasture just long enough to get our feet wet again. Morning dew. That's not a complaint, it could be worse, couldn't it? It could be raining. It's a couple of minutes stroll into Hawkridge. You see the old style telephone box in front of you with the tree. Let's start turning left on the road, and then we need to be looking for a right. So turn left at the telephone box, old style, and then just past this old post box, bear right. As you probably know, I like to start the day off with 2 hours. Just do 2 hours, get a little chunk done. I was just walking through Hawkridge and saw a little bench, and I thought I haven't seen many of these on this trip. And I've just stumbled across this one. And that'd seem rude not to, wouldn't it? I'll show you the outlook. You could stick that on the side of a slab of butter, couldn't you? Or some clotted cream or something. We're going out that way. From the bench at Hawkridge, literally just stride across the field to a beech tree, I think it is, and then you get to the other end and there's people here to collect some toll. An obvious open way. After you pay your toll, you need to be aiming centre of screen here, just to go up to the left hand side of this woodland. Drop down off the field through a gate, ouch, sorry, through a gate and down this little passageway, wooded passageway, which is lovely today because it's warm already. Even though it's 25 past 10, it's very warm, and I'm lucky, I know it's dry, otherwise this could be quite boggy underfoot. beautiful day. I've literally got the sun on my back. This path's just ideal. A few rocks, so you need to be looking where you're going. Nothing gnarly, just a nice little stroll out. It's beautiful. I've noticed on this section there's not so many signs with the looks like an MW to me, Two Moors Way signs, but on each of the gates they've got a yellow square painted on it to give a bit of guidance, which is always great. I'm going to walk down past Parsonage Farm, down this way. There's a restricted route to Tarr Steps this way, about a mile, but I'm not going that way. I'm going around this way round, but I am going to do Tarr Steps if I can. I just had a quick look on the map, and the restricted route it's like a short little path that leads you back down onto the road, which is, I guess, like a shortcut to Tarr Steps, but I'm not looking for shortcuts. Today I'm looking for the most prettiest route. Idyllic footpaths, even if it takes twice as long, I really don't mind. These the last 2 days and I really want to enjoy them and explore them, so I'm going around this way. We're going through there, then up there. I don't know if you can actually see the top of that. No, I'm kidding. Tarr Steps is this way. So just more of this gravelly track path. Quick note, the indicator on the gates to turn to light blue. I just caught a couple of pheasants there running downhill. Trying to zoom in and see if I can catch him. But that's where we're going as well, which is going to be another knee trembler, but this time on grass. Fortunately enough, the sun's is that the right word, knee trembler? Anyway, the sun's been on this side. Oh, so the grass has dried out, so hopefully it won't be too slippy. From the last photo I just took on the bottom of the hill with the gate, you need to turn sharp right just before it on this type of path. Then we're back into a lovely old woodland again. This path is on a descent and it's got some loose rock on it. I would definitely recommend using trekking poles. I've said before, I'll keep mine in my hand the whole time. I find them really useful, but that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, lots of little bits of loose rock, easy to just lose your footing. These are impressive bits of rock, aren't they? This is Tarr Steps. I've just gone over them, and this is lovely. I wasn't quite expecting it. It's too civilised. I thought I'd be meandering the side of the river. I'm not sure if I should have gone on the, I'm guessing, west side of it now, but I've chosen the east side because I thought that was the wibbly wobbly windy way. This is the route that I've taken. Come along here, around that farmer's track, and along the top, and I've dropped back down, and I've got to Tarr Steps. I decided to go up the east side of Tarr Steps, all the way up to Withypool. Looks very civilised so far, but we'll see when I get there. What can I say about this walk? And I mean in a good way. You're meandering, following the River Barle upstream, and the pathway is a variety between like this and gravel and a little bit of loose rock, but it's just a meandering path. It's very, very nice. Sort of thing you might come out on a Sunday and just go for a stroll and then finish at the end of the day with an ice cream. But it's very nice. I'd be really interested to camp down here. I know I probably wouldn't, but it's beautiful. The water source there. Noticeably colder in here. It's actually 16 degrees outside now, and it's warm. It feels warmer than that in the sun, but in the shade here I can feel the cold on my skin. Not complaining, it's just very cool under these trees, just nature doing its work. Running up the east side of the river, it's very steep, but on the other side I've seen a few flat spots, little bits tucked into the wood there, just saying. But on this side it goes up very steep. I keep saying the River Barle. Is it Barle or Barle? Forgive me, English isn't my first language. So if you do know what it is, please help. Just drop a comment below. Tell me what it is. Barle, B-A-R-L-E. My first language is jibber jabber. And then back out into the sun again for a little bit. And you can really feel the warmth straight away. It's lovely. I passed a warning sign notice. Warning? Maybe too strong a word. Noticed that when it's flooded or wet, there's an alternative route you can take sort of inland a bit, but I'm out for the challenge. But this is looking a little bit, I'm going to use the word gnarly. I need to start looking where I place my feet, I think, because that civilised path that it started off in, obviously the tourists don't tend to come up this way so much. Isn't it lovely? I've been looking forward to bits like this after the road work and path work over the last 2 days. Even I'm too tall to get underneath that. Hold on. But this makes up for it. Feels a little bit like exploring. I'm not the first person, I know that, but it feels good. It has turned into roots and boggy bits now, but it's good fun negotiating it. A good 15-20 minutes in to the walk where it advises you to go inland a bit if you don't want the gnarly path. There are several little bit flat bits. I'm just saying. I'm about halfway through this now, this section. I don't mean that to get rid of it, but these little flat bits, as you can see, there's my shadow. We're about midday, so that would be north. Here's your outlook for in the morning, east. Might be saying you should wild camp. This is flat, level, facing the east with a river just down there for some water. Been going for about an hour now, and there's just a quick glimpse on the west side of it. Just as we've got this little lump to get over, just to get some body heat back in, I guess. Not that I need it, I'm out in the sun. Halfway up that little lump I just showed you, there's a turning left. You could almost miss it if you weren't concentrating, but it brings you down onto this. So we're back right next to the river again. Like I said, I've been going for over an hour now. I think I'm well over halfway. And what I'm looking for is a bit by the river where I can go and dip my feet. So I keep, there's rocks and roots I need to watch out and a bit of a drop. Show you. But yeah, I'm trying to get a bit out of the shade, because the difference between the shade, as I keep saying, and the sun is staggering. The shade is gorgeous. You could sit there sunbathing. In the shade, it's actually chilly on your skin. So looking for the ultimate piece of river. That was refreshing. Should have found a deeper bit so I could have sat right down or got right in there, but that's refreshing me up and well worth it. Yeah. Sit here and have 5 minutes and then get back on. I think we're well over halfway to Withypool, so we're doing all right today. It's hard to capture just the peace and the quiet out here. All you hear every now and again is the river streaming by. Beautiful. Literally just before the elevation, there's some stepping stones. They're huge stepping stones, you know, 2-3 foot chunks of rock in the river. Well, I've just had a quick look at the map, and you could cross over to the west side of the river and approach Withypool from that way, but I want to say as true as I can, you know, as true as I can. So I'm still on the east side, and I gained a bit of elevation, but I'm back in woodland again now. Just broken out of the woodland, and I'm guessing, yeah, that'd be Withypool there, that'd be the church. Centre of screen now, just zooming in a bit for you. Like I said, we pulled away from the river a little bit to follow this original Two Moors Way path. It starts off really civilised. You're basically walking down a flat tarmac path. Then it gets a little bit wilder, and a little bit wilder, and then wild where you're hooking over rocks and roots and wet boggy parts, but that's what makes it fantastic for me. It was a great little adventure. I know it's only a little mini adventure, but it's made me happy today. Ascending out of Withypool now. Withypool's got a nice pub. It's a bit of a labyrinth with like trying to find your way through to actually get a drink, but it's nice when you get in there. A little general store, old-fashioned style, really nice, just by the bridge. And I think there's an ice cream shop, maybe a diner as well, you know, do snacks and stuff like that. But lovely little place. But we're ascending up now, heading towards Simonsbath, I believe it's called. The houses over there are just on the outskirts of Withypool, on the west side, but we came out from the thicket of trees in the centre screen now, up the east side of the River Barle. I'm still just wandering along. Sort of part of me feels a little bit guilty because I'm not slaughtering the miles, but the other side is me really enjoying it on a day like today, because I just had a lovely conversation with the family. I've got time to actually do that without worrying. You can see the scenery is changing behind me. That hill, the colour of that hill is a giveaway to me. It's the lush green. We're out in Exmoor, ain't we? What make or model of sheep are these? If Biffa Bacon had a sheep, this is what it looked like. It looked like they were going to do you over any second. Just keep following the natural path up the field into that corner over there where it's centre of screen now. Not be tempted to turn left there. I wasn't, but just don't be tempted. Then this should bring us out on a little road. So a little bit of road work, but I'm not complaining because we haven't had very much of it at all today. It's been a fabulous day. I've just seen a road sign, or a sign to Simonsbath, sorry, my mind went blank for a second there. 5 1/3 of a mile, which is a bit odd. But I'm not actually going as far as Simonsbath. I'm stopping before that on the theory that I could have a night out in the morning, walk into Simonsbath, a mile or two maybe, I don't know, and then fill up with my water, maybe even get some food, who knows. So I haven't got very much longer today. It's not quite 3 o'clock yet, so I'm going to have an early stack as well, which could work both ways. It could be really good, there'd be nobody about, or not so good when there's lots of people about and you've got to wait for them to go away. And this tarmac is actually going uphill again. I hope it's not like as long as it was yesterday. That did me yesterday. I was a grumpy old sod yesterday when that just kept on going and going. Hopefully it won't be. Come on. Just entering the moor again after you left Withypool, and at a push you could get something out of there, water. If you've got a filter with you, It's not ideal, but it's not too bad. Definitely starting to get back out in the moors again. No real paths. There's several different paths, you know. Could be animal tracks, could be something else, but we're definitely out on the moors. On the moors. Hey. Shit, if I was half an hour earlier, I would have seen that come down the valley. I've said it before when I was out on Dartmoor, but it's really hard to get a sense of scale. What I'm going to try and do is top that hill, some trees, and the line of trees coming up, look at the ones next to them, the individual ones. I'll just pan back out again to normal. It's just vast. And it goes on for miles and miles and miles. It's brilliant. I must be getting close to my aim point now. It's about 4:20, and I think I've probably got about another mile or so, something like that. But I'm starting to think anywhere is good now, because the weather's coming in. I've had good weather for a solid week, and I really don't want to be pushing my luck. So if it means dropping short for a bit, if I find a good picture in the next little bit, you know, whenever, well, that's all good. But I'll show you the weather, see it coming in. That's the river down there. We're walking along this path here, but that's what's coming towards us. It could blow over, and I hope it does. Look, there's some blue behind, possibly. But you never know. I'd rather be a little bit cautious and then walk a little bit more. There's a stillness down the valley which is uncanny. Literally, there's nothing moving. Look, even the lightest of grass is not twitching. That's me shaking. Well, this is where I was aiming for. Cow Castle Settlement, which is the one in centre of screen now, not this slump in centre of screen here, one behind it, and that's what intrigued me. That's why I wanted to get here and see what it was about. I had enough for the day, managed to find a pitch. It was where I was aiming for. It's a little bit ropey, but it's not. I mean, I'm just in the middle of nowhere, but there's a few reeds about. It's bumpy, it's not super flat and level, but it'll be fine for the tonight if I get away with it. Just to recap on today, day 7. Fantastic walk. I can only apologise for the last 2 days. Not yesterday, but the day before, I ended up doing 21 miles. My feet were soaking wet first thing in the morning. Stayed like that all day, and I had a lot of road work, and I don't like road work. And I've done myself, not a mischief, but I've done my feet, and so that makes me a bit miserable. I apologise. Today, exact opposite. Started off at West Anstey, sorry. I'll write these up if I forget. I'll write them across the top here somewhere. West Anstey on the common there. Lovely night, just could hear nature. I heard some people training the dog till about 9:15 at night, but that was it. Just could hear rustling and nothing else. Absolute fantastic night. Walked down to Tarr Steps. Another brilliant walk. Tarr Steps, walking up to Withypool. What can I say? It starts off civilised and looks like it might be a Sunday afternoon walk, but then it gets a little bit gnarly, some rocks, some roots. It's great. Had a little bit of a wash dip. That was lovely. Cooled my feet off more than anything. And then from there up to, not West Anstey, I'm trying to think whether, I'll come back to that, name of the place, but it's got a pub, a little shop and stuff like that. And from there, I'm out on the moors. I'm short of Simonsbath, is how I'm going to say it, Simonsbath, by a mile or two, which is fine. So that leaves me tomorrow about 12 or 13 miles. If the weather holds like this, I've been blessed. I've had 7 days in September with not one drop of rain. Tent's been damp most mornings because of the dew, but I'm not complaining about that. So hopefully the weather hold one more day for me, fingers crossed, and we get on that. And tomorrow, nothing stupid, crazy or bananas happens. I should get to Lynton / Lynmouth, and that be Devon North Coast, be the coast to coast done. So wish me luck. Hopefully join me tomorrow or whenever it's up, day 8. Thanks a lot. It's Jay from My Wonder. I'm out of here. It's nearly 7 o'clock now, and I'm going to miss the sunset tonight because I'm too far down in the valley and the hill's too large in front of me. It doesn't look that big on the screen, does it? Yeah, there's quite a craze there, but I can tell the sun's going down, and I'll show you why. Quick flash past the tent. The land in the distance there is just lighting up lovely.